In this brief tutorial, we will explain how to search for patients and navigate the screens in the CurrentCare Portal. Please note that all screenshots in this training show test patients with no actual PHI. This section covers how to search for your patient, select the appropriate record, and open the portal's clinical information application to view the patient record. To get started, enter the patient's first name, last name, and date of birth. Then, click Enter or click Search. Notice the red asterisk indicating these three fields are required. A list of possible matches displays on the screen. The most probable patient match will be at the top of the list. Confirm the row that matches the patient demographics, and then select the patient from the list. Next, you will need to choose the CurrentCare application that you'd like to use to view the patient's clinical information. For now, select Clinical Information. There will be other tools in the future. There are a few scenarios where you might not be brought directly to the patient's record. Let's review 3 examples now. Your organization is required to submit a list of your patients to CurrentCare. We call this your patient panel, and it's used to attest that you are authorized to view clinical data for those patients. In some cases, you might be authorized to view the patients who are not on your organization's panel, such as new patients or for care coordination. In that case, CurrentCare Portal will require that you attest to the relationship. If you look up a patient who is not on your panel, a message box will display on the screen. Please read the attestation message carefully and select either Proceed or Cancel. If you proceed, you will need to select the appropriate reason for accessing the patient's information. In some cases, you may see more than one patient record has matched to your search. To learn more about the process, you can click the information icon next to Matched Patients. Please select the patient with the most appropriate demographics. If a patient has opted out of sharing data, you will only have access to the PDMP if you are an authorized user and in the event of an emergency. In that case, you can bypass their opt-out consent. This will give you access to documents on the National Network tab, which includes eHealth Exchange. Now that you have selected a patient record, you will need to know how to navigate the clinical information tabs. First, to give yourself more space, you can click on the arrow next to the menu bars to either collapse or expand them. The Reports and Applications menu is now collapsed, while the Clinical menu bar is expanded. The Clinical Information bar includes patient information where you'll find demographics and 5 main clinical categories as shown here. This is a summary of where to find clinical data. The Health Records tab within clinical data is highlighted in orange. This is where you can find lab, imaging, and EKG results, as well as discharge summary and discharge COC documents. Other tabs include encounters, medication management, allergies, problems, immunizations, structured documents, patient information, care team, social needs, and my patient summary. To refer back to this slide, you can visit currentcareri.org/training to view the PDF version of this presentation. Patient demographics are accessible in the topmost category link. You will find the most up-to-date demographics here based on the latest encounter. There are many other features of the clinical screens that you may find helpful as you begin to use the system. We'll explain some of these now. To search for another patient, simply click the home screen icon and follow the steps outlined at the beginning of this training. If a patient is deceased, you will see a highlighted flag at the top of each screen in the record. For any screens where printing is available, you'll see a down arrow that allows you to download and print a PDF document. Follow the prompts to download your document. By default, all columns will be displayed, but you can hide or show columns as needed in most tabs. For example, in the Health Records All tab, you can click the View Columns icon and check on or off to display or hide your desired column headings. You can also hide some data from your organization by using this toggle icon. If you are looking for a specific lab or radiology result, encounter, or medication, use the search or filter function. You can click on the search icon to search for the results that you are looking for. For example, you can type in CBC for complete blood count, and any matches for CBC will appear in the results list. You can also use the filter icon to select results within specific time periods. Click on column headings to switch between ascending and descending order. Click the User Settings link to change the order of your clinical categories. Simply use the arrows as needed to reorder them as you would like. These changes will remain in place until you decide to change your preferences again. You can pin different sections of the record so they will show in My Patient Summary as shown here. You can pin or unpin as needed, but pinned sections will be saved as your preferences going forward. You can also use the drag icon to move the sections around on your screen. If you need assistance or have questions about CurrentCare, you can learn more at the web pages listed here, or please contact our support team who will be happy to help you.